with love like a duo. I just want the yen and the euro. The game up and leave my kids like judo. Money come around like a Hoover. Making free bands in the future. Pockets on the look super.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Just a few moments ago, it was the Redskin defense being introduced, and the largest cheers went for their Pro Bowl cornerback, Josh Norman, as he and his guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. So he got free at 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Crowell. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll be a Redskin 1st down as Smith hits Crowder.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 50.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move him half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack. And now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone! Here we go now. Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, it's Osweiler. Wilson snags it left side. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. But they face a second and long to start things out. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And I think the ball's out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Colby Lisenby, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And we shift our focus to Isaiah Crowell. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions, in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now, because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
Here's Smith now on second down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Khalil Mack coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And, look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he loses the football a second time. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on fourth down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession. No turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive lineman, tight end, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 3rd down, here's Washington. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Vikings! DeAndre Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Got his man. Isaiah Crowell. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
It's Pumphrey on the toss. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him. Getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders. And they're rolling. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
No. Check. Patriot.
On first and goal, Washington. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. DeAndre Washington. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On first down, Smith under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On second down, here's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
Final play of the half. It's Osweiler going deep for Diggs. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we hit halftime with our visitors. The Vikings take an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. Into the Redskins have it, they do.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, And they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Looking to throw on second down. Smith. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Paul Richardson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Osweiler. And this will be incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First target, first catch, and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. Swatted. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Here's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. A gain of 6 there on first.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Smith on 3rd down. This one caught by Crowder. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Ready? Fire,
80. A 1st down carry now for Crowell. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the... perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Smith looking to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Anthony Barr. In there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is Crowell, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. The Redskins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Smith. Escapes the sack. That's going to be caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Now the ball comes loose. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Colby Lisenby with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Back to the air, Smith on second down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This is intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game of the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Colby Listenbee with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. From the gun on 3rd down. Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Smith now to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The Vikings on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 4.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Staying on the ground with Washington. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.